Thursday morning in the city of Lagos, Southwest Nigeria. My name is Damlola Ogunshaki, and this morning I'm starting with Vanguard of the paper review. Vanguard major headline says Battle for Kano, Kwankwaso blows off. Yusuf digs in. Abba will regret leaving NNPP. That's coming from Kwankwaso. Governor makes a fresh appointment to replace Kwankwaso's loyalist. I'm open to reconciliation with Kwankwaso. That's coming from Ganduje. You can see that story on page 5 of Vanguard newspaper. On page 8, 2027, Oyegun Otomi Lukman to lead ADC policy manifesto think tank. Makoko Oroshoki demolitions. Protesters tear gassed, arrested in Lagos. You can see that story on page 15. And here there are two photo story. And the first is showing it was taken at the international collaboration, while the second was taken when the British envoy visited First Bank. And directly below the banner on page 8, Tax Reform Act, no adulteration. That's coming from Slate. Sharia Council to INEC, we won't accept compromised election in 2027. Tinubu Obasanjo mourn as influential businessman Ojora dies at 93. You can see that story on page 7. APC kicks off Congress's convention. Governor's okay schedule after meeting with C. You can see that Oyegun, Tommy, Lickman, others to draft ADC manifesto. Page 2. Tax laws not Fatima bankers or chief and top on the page at day 23 more. Pencom approves 460 retirees. Lastly on the nation Ogo over oil fields. That story is on page 7 of the Nation newspaper. The Guardian major headline says, despite demand, 2.5 million liters may rot away. On page 5, Oshun appoints local government officials as Algon functions at Bika over control. Police disperse protesters over demolition of structures in Makoko. Sokoto airstrike reopens sovereignty debate as Akpabio Ningi Difa. Telcos raised $8.85 million fines over poor telephone service as NCC plans sanctions. You can see that on news page 4 and directly below the banner on news page 3. Senate to debate Electoral Act Amendment Bill today. That's all on the Guardian newspaper. Now let's move to the Punch. The Punch major headline says outrage over police crackdown on Lagos anti-demolition protesters. Police tear gas protesters at Lagos Assembly, make arrest, activists, right group slam police. You can see that story on news pages 4 and 5. Gunmen abduct pregnant woman in Ondo community attack. Nigeria earns 55.5 trillion naira from crude oil sales in 2025. 2027, APC moves to manage defection, internal crisis. You can see that on page 2. And lastly, on the Punch newspaper, Diziani lavished over 4 billion naira in London luxury star. That's coming from United Kingdom prosecutors. You can see that story on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. And that's all we have on the front pages of the dailies. Join us after the break for a brief analysis of some of these stories. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Today the News on Vanguard Live. My name is Damlola Ogunshaki. And joining us to analyze some of the stories on the front pages this morning is Mr. Oludari Mayowa, publisher of Global Financial Digest. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning, Damlola. Thanks for having me today.
All right, let's move straight to the stories. And we're starting with Kano State. Now, the Kano political landscape has erupted after Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf formally defected from the new Nigeria People's Party, that's NNPP, to the ruling All Progressive Congress APC, sparking serious backlash from his former mentor, Senator Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso. So, Governor Yusuf's defection, what does this mean for NNPC's dominance in Kano? Is a state long viewed as it's a stronghold. I mean, NLPP has been in Kano for a long time, and they've dominated the whole state.
Thank you very much. Kano is a very strategic state in terms of vote volume, numbers. In election, numbers matter. And when you look at the numbers shown out by Kano year in, year out, we understand why that place becomes strategic to the politicians. And that place has been regarded as the stronghold of Senator Rabi Kwankwaso all along. He has played a major role in that place in terms of winning the election. He was a 2-time governor of that state, and he was able to successfully push out APC in the last election and install his own Soviet on the power. So it's very strategic to them. Secondly, in the last couple of months last year, we have been having speculation about Kwankwaso moving to APC, negotiating with the president. We have some speculation saying that he might replace the current vice chairman, Shetima, with Kwankwaso, because as a result of the numbers that are coming from that place. I'm sure that negotiation probably didn't sail out. And for the governor or that political party of the Kwankwasia group to have moved to APC is very strategic and very damaging to the NPP. There's no way you're going to look at it. He's going to combine his own force. That was the only governor that be able to put 1 million votes during the election. So combine that with APC, Ganduje, and the rest in that place. It's like, either we like it or not, we already divided it. We already weakened the strength and the position of Kwankwaso, because that's the only state that is very strong at, and that's giving strategic negotiating power. But with the location of the governor to APC, is for him to go to any party to negotiate, they have to look at, you have a governor, you have a governor. What are you bringing to the table? So it's going to be very difficult for him to actually get a position in any political party or negotiation going forward. That's why it's very critical and very strategic decision by the APC to rescue that state from him.
Well, Senator Kwankwaso, he has publicly warned that Governor Yusuf will regret abandoning the NNPC, and he has sharply criticized the defection as a betrayal of the movement that put him in office. What do you think about the warning from Senator Kwankwaso to the governor?
Because he also commands a number of the masses followership. But again, when you look at the forthcoming election in 2027, it's not going to be like 2023 election. Number one, the president in part there in 2023 was probably not interested in any other person than himself. So since any political party was just not interested about the election, who wins, who doesn't win. But right now, we are seeing a president who is a politician, a core politician, who is strategic in his move to win election. And that's why we are seeing people, the governors, moving to APC. So it's going to be different from the kind of strength that Kwankwaso with the last election. It's going to be a very battleground for both the APC troop and Kwankwaso team. And with 500 miles, I don't see Kwankwaso will be able to upturn against the APC in that Kano again. Would they be waiting today? Because APC is very strategic, and with the federal power, they are desperate to ensure that the next election is won decisively, and they are doing everything possible. That's why you see the government move by some of his commissioners with the House of Assembly members, and National Assembly members will move for them. And these people have their own constituency too. They have their own reality too. So it's going to be very difficult for Kwankwaso to actually continue to dominate the environment. Yes, it may not be easy for APC, but eventually it may not be able to stop the governor from returning to the state house.
Well,
in my own projection,
well, there are reports that Yusuf has been making fresh appointments aimed at consolidating the political support in Kano after his move to the APC. So, do you think this new political move will help the governor in the 2027 election?
No, our politics is not a straightforward politics. Nigeria, what determines Nigerian politics today is money, the amount of resources you have. And the way it is now, you are seeing, for example, I was listening to an interview of one of the senior advisors of Yusuf on one of the television stations. He said that since they decided to move to APC, the federal government had released 45 billion naira for a project for them. When they were in opposition, they couldn't get that kind of money to complete a project. Now, government released 45 billion or 47 billion to complete a project for them. So these are the kind of capacity that a sitting governor, a sitting president has an advantage of deploying resources to overwhelm the opposition. And that's what the APC is doing right now. So, and Kwankwaso, yes, he has the support of the masses, but people are hungry. And they will follow the money. And that's exactly where I'm reading the politics. The people will follow the money because they are angry. No matter how they are angry with the president or the ruling party. But when it comes to election, they will follow the money. And who has the capacity to give the money? It's the people in government. Also, I've left government for how many years now? No matter how good the resources available to him, he can't compete with those who are the state resources with them. So yes, he may try, but I'm not seeing him able to have an upper hand against the governor, against the machinery of APC in the forthcoming election. I mean, it may be proved wrong, but Nigeria election is about money, finance, how much money can muscle.
So what do you think might change the game apart from money in 2027? Because some people are saying the voter apathy and some other things might influence the election in 2027. Seeing that even before even before the governor defected, there were reports that that there had been a rift between the governor and Kwankwaso for some time.
Yes, like I said, we are talking of a normal circumstance, normal environment. In a decent environment, in a decent climate, for example, we expect that people to revolt against the government because of hunger, inflations, cost of livings, introduction of a tax reform bill that will be able to take money away from people. We expect people to respond to such of those anomalies in the system, insecurity across the country. But Nigeria is not a normal environment where the masses has a say in who become what. Those who determine who become what. I only remember this experience of mine in 1991 or 1992. I can't remember now. During Babangida's election, I was working with interns then. So they moved everybody to the field to go and cover political field. And I was at a particular place in Mushin monitoring the primary of SDP then. And I was talking to some people, and they were saying, no, it was a primary to determine who was going to be the candidate of SDP then in Lagos. I think Jakande was contesting. Musa Yar'Adua was on the ballot, and on another like that. Musa Yar'Adua won the election in Lagos against Jakande. And I was curious. I was asking questions. What happened here? People say, some people were saying that it was through Jakande free education that were able to go to school. I said, why then you vote? Say, it was Mama Sukutu that asked us to go and vote for Musa Yar'Adua. They gave them money. And even though they believe that Yakande could do better than Yar'Adua, because they don't know Musa Yar'Adua is from the north. In Lagos, for example, Musa Yar'Adua won in Lagos against Yakande because the man cannot muster the resources. So Yar'Adua brought the money out, and people went there against their conviction and to vote for Yar'Adua. For me, I've seen the Nigerian politics in that dynamics, that people will follow the money. And when you look at the money, who has the money? Federal government has the money. The state government too has its own money. And individual, no matter what is the level of resources that can muster, and people want